Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kagam. Today I want to try something different. I'm sitting at my table in my lady lair. Tell me what you think of this setup. Normally I sit at an angle there, but I want to try something a bit different. Super excited about this video. Today we're going to talk about how to wear luxury monograms, logos, patterns and checks in 2023. We live in this world where everyone is obsessed with following the quiet luxury trend. You know what? I march to the beat of my own drum. When everyone is going this way, I go that way. It's just how I am. So I'm excited to film this video for you. I know many of you like monograms, many of you don't like logos or monograms. I want to kind of show you fresh ways of wearing them this year, especially considering that people are talking so much about quiet luxury. And then at the end, I'll give you my reaction to quiet luxury. So without further ado, let's get started. My first tip for wearing luxury logos in 2023 is just go with swimwear. Most of you are in the Western world. Swimwear I think is a great way to experience and experiment with Logomania without it being overwhelming and without it feeling like it's kind of taking you over. Let me show you some swimsuits that I like that I think you maybe should consider. I love this Burberry check swimsuit. It has a kind of vintage vibe, okay? You know, Burberry is one of the top tier girls. Like Thomas Burberry invented gabardine, which is used in like virtually all parts of the fashion industry, pretty much. If someone is making garments, Burberry is a top tier brand. We need to talk about Burberry more. Love this. I think it has just a super vintage vibe, particularly the one with the thinner check. The swimsuit with the thinner check feels super vintage. The one with the more oversized check feels more modern and it feels very fresh as well. Love this. So I wanted to share that one with you. I think the Burberry check is also a very iconic check, and it's an iconic pattern. So sometimes people might feel like, wow, how do I pull that off without it being obvious that I'm wearing Burberry? I think it's just about your personal style. But if you're going to the beach, you're going to a pool party, wearing the swimsuit, I think is a good way to kind of get it's a good way to get started, I think, with the Burberry pattern, which is so famous. You know, when you think of Burberry, you think of the check or you think of the trench coat. You know, that's what people think of when they think of Burberry, and those are two very, you know, good things. The next one that I wanted to show you is this Versace swimsuit. This is a very classic swimsuit from Versace. It's part of their permanent collection. It's very simple. It just has a Medusa on it. That's it. Many of you have told me for different reasons. Everyone has their reasons. Many people don't actually like the Medusa head. I think Versace are aware of this and have made a lot of these kind of toned down designs with the Medusa head, where the Medusa head doesn't kind of like, it doesn't overpower the garment. We've seen this most recently in their new platforms that they're pushing at the moment. These ones right here, they're called the Anthem platforms. There's a Medusa just at the back of the platforms, like you would never see it unless you knew that they were Versace. So I wanted to show you that swimsuit because I think it's just a really sleek option, and it just has a logo on it and it's fine, and that's it. The next one that I wanted to show you that I think is very subtle, it's a logo swimsuit. You wouldn't know the brand. I'm going to put it up here. Guess which brand this is? That's right, it's Ferragamo. You wouldn't know that, would you? So they've taken a portion of Salvatore Ferragamo's signature and they've just put it on the swimsuit. But this is Ferragamo. As you know, they've gone from using his original signature, like how he used to write his name, to now using just a standard kind of like type, like just like a standard text logo. I know a lot of people are obsessed about that. I actually quite like both. I like the signature cursive thing, but I also like the modern logo as well. I mean, I think that they're both fine. I know that everyone has their opinion on it. I really like this swimsuit. This swimsuit is very, it's a logo swimsuit, but you would not know that it's a logo swimsuit. And this is why I wanted to film this video. There's so much discourse and chatter about logos, but I feel like the people who talk SHIT about logos don't know SHIT about them. So they're sitting there popping off about logos and they have no idea what they're talking about anyway. Look what I found. Look at this Ferragamo swimsuit. This is really nice. This is probably a bit too subtle for me, but I know that many of you would like it. So I just wanted to quickly show you as well. Okay, now I want to show you this Moschino swimsuit. This is new. This is from Spring Summer 2023. I'm actually considering getting this if they can get it in my size. When I went to Moschino in February, they didn't have my sizes. My size for their swimsuits is an Italian 46. The clothes I'm wearing here now, this is a little bit oversized, but this is a UK 12 and my t-shirt is a UK 12 as well. So I'll be looking to get like an Italian 46, okay? So that's the kind of thing I'm looking for the swimsuits. Now, this one is very, very out there. This is a true Moschino like swimsuit. Like, it's really in your face. It's not for everyone. I love this because it's bright, it's vibrant. And when I think of Moschino, I think of something like this. If you're maybe someone a little bit more adventurous and you are well versed with Logomania, you could take something like this. All of the things I've mentioned are linked below as well. Now, this swimsuit from Celine is very subtle. It features the Triomphe monogram, and that is like the Celine monogram that they're pushing at the moment. So it has the Triomphe, it has the Triomphe design basically, and we all know that the Triomphe it's on the buckle of the Triomphe bags. So this is like the monogram that they're pushing at the moment. I think this is a very interesting, subtle way of experiencing monograms and trying the Logomania trend, because believe it or not that many people know about the Celine Triomphe monogram. Not that many people know about it. Like, if you like Celine and you know about it, that's fine. But if you're someone who thinks of monograms, people think of the Louis Vuitton monogram when they think of monograms or logos. People think Louis Vuitton, people think Big Gucci, people do not think of the Celine Triomphe monogram. I think this is a really fun option for swimwear as well. And what I like about swimwear is I feel like swimwear is your time to be fun and to be vibrant. I literally, whenever I travel, I try and find them. It's just that they just don't have my size. So if it's not there in my size, I can't buy it, obviously. But I think that swimwear is meant to be fun and vibrant. Like, you're not meant to worry about trends and what people say when you're in the swimming pool swimming, or when you're at the beach, or you're at a pool party. You're meant to enjoy yourself and you're meant to have fun. And I think Logomania is like a very fun way of doing that for spring, summer. The next tip that I have is go with eyewear. So I actually have a separate video about these sunglasses coming as well, but these are my logo sunglasses, okay? These are the Versace Medusa sunglasses from Big Versace. And these are the Dior Signature, they're called the Dior Signature BTU sunglasses. Let me just quickly put them on as I'm talking to you about this. Sunglasses are a great way of experimenting with logos, okay? First of all, I find that luxury sunglasses, even though a lot of them are made by like one company, I feel like luxury sunglasses are just a great way of adding logos, monograms, or like, if you like things that are super branded, to your personal style, but they don't overwhelm you. We'll talk about ready-to-wear later. Ready-to-wear, I think, requires a different approach when it pertains to Logomania. You can just see that there is a Medusa just here, literally on the side. You'd have to really look. There's nowhere that it says Versace. The only way you know it's Versace is because there's a Medusa head, as I just said, just here. And then the ones from Dior. These ones, like I said, are called the Dior Signature BTU. And these are just a classic cat's eye. And that's it. And it just says Christian Dior there. And then inside there it says Christian Dior. There's literally no branding on this with the exception of the Medusas. Literally. There's literally nothing. It's just a Medusa. There's literally a Medusa and that's it. So for the people who don't like branding, you might actually prefer the Versace ones, because you can just see it's just a Medusa there. There's literally just Medusas, two Medusas there, and that's it. And then these ones from Dior. So I think sunglasses are a great way of experimenting with logos. So these are the ones that I have, but I wanted to show you some ones that I think you guys might like, that I think are very fun. And I think they're a great way of experimenting with Logomania this year. So I want to show you these ones here. These are from Burberry. These are the Burberry check ones they come in two colors. There's one in black, but the black one I think just doesn't look good, so I'm not going to show that one. They also come in this color that Burberry called Birch Brown. I love these. I gagged when I saw them on the website. And to the Tanzanians watching, I gagged even further when I realized that Burberry actually ships to Tanzania. Like, no luxury brands ship to my country. So I was in so much shock when I saw that they do international shipping. So yeah, that's very exciting. So these ones I think are such a fun way, again, of exploring patterns and checks. And the Burberry check is not a monogram, but it might as well be a monogram because it's so iconic and everyone knows it. This is a great way of playing with that, but again, it's not particularly overwhelming. Another luxury brand sunglasses that I really like and that I think are a great way of playing with logos and logomania are Fendi sunglasses. I think Fendi have great sunglasses. It's very obvious that they are Fendi sunglasses, but again, it's not overwhelming. It doesn't make you feel like you're suffocating or anything like that. It's just fun and vibrant, and it's a fun way to kind of explore the logomania trend. I know many of you are either afraid of logos, you like logos and you feel ashamed that you like them because everyone is moaning and yelling and shouting about logos. So I want to make you feel comfortable to play with logos in different ways. I feel like, and I think I've said this before, I was telling you guys, I want to take my channel in this more kind of, I don't know, I want to take it in just a much more fresh, crisp way. I want to talk about luxury fashion, luxury shopping, luxury travel, jewelry, watches, cars. I want to talk about everything. And I feel like sometimes, like, when we focus too much on handbags, we miss out on so much other stuff that is so wonderful. When people think of logomania, they think of handbags. I think handbags are too literal and too obvious, so we're not talking about them in this video. There's so many other ways that you can experience this trend. You can play with this trend this year. Even as everyone is moaning about logos, the Burberry check sunglasses in particular, I think, are a standout piece for logomania this year, and I love it. The next way that you can wear logos this year is wear a very unique statement coat or jacket. Now, obviously, it's spring at the moment, so a coat is probably not needed, but maybe like a jacket. Now, I love this jacket here from Louis Vuitton. This is one of their, like, I think, very hot pieces. Like, this piece seems to sell out a lot. Now, this one, again, I think it's just your personal style. It has to be your personal style, honey. Like, if it's not your personal style, it's not going to look good on you. And I think the Louis Vuitton monogram is a massive statement, and it can actually swallow people who are wearing it if your personal style isn't defined. That's why I think people don't understand the Louis Vuitton monogram, because when people say it's tacky, hate that, we'll talk about that later, what the person is saying is, it doesn't work for me, or I don't know how to make it work for me, so I'm going to talk S-H-I-T about it because I can't make it work for me. But the Louis Vuitton monogram can look so effing hot and stylish and popping if you can style it and make it work for you. I personally think the monogram, my personal opinion, the Louis Vuitton monogram looks best on ready to wear when it is a little bit more blown up. It looks fresher, it looks again more modern, it looks more crisp. I think this is the same for the Gucci GG Supreme like monogram, which we'll talk about as well. It just looks a little bit more fresh and a bit more crisp when the monogram symbols are just a little bit bigger and a little bit more oversized. It just looks more modern to me. But the original ones as well also look good. It's just that people just like to moan about it. But in terms of styling, I found that the bomber jacket, I think, is just such a cool, unique piece. Gucci have a lot of great jackets as well and coats in the GG Supreme canvas. The GG Supreme monogram from Big Gucci is under attack. And again, I think it's one of those things where people don't understand something, so they want to put it down. The GG Supreme monogram and the Louis Vuitton monogram are not for you if you are a wallflower. Like, they are statement monograms. They're not subtle. There's nothing about these like monograms in coats or jackets that is particularly subtle. I showed you the Ferragamo swimsuit previously in this video. You know, it's a very subtle drop of logo mania. These two coats, boo-boo, from Louis Vuitton and Big Gucci, or the coats and jackets, whichever ones are on the screen, from Big Gucci, are not subtle. That's not a bad thing, but it's something that you should be aware of. If you're someone who loves to make a statement, I think that these could work for you. Okay, now one of the things I find really interesting about logos this year, and I think is a good way of, again, exploring this trend, is logos as subversive jewelry. Now, I'm wearing my Louis Vuitton Louisette earrings that I purchased last year in Paris at the Champs-Élysées Maison for Louis Vuitton. These Louisette earrings are the monogram flower. That's actually what the symbol is called by Louis Vuitton. So this is called the monogram flower. So Louis Vuitton have been playing with the monogram where they take symbols from the monogram itself. And if you didn't know, the monogram was invented by Louis Vuitton's son, Georges Vuitton. He invented it in 1896. Now, they take some of the symbols and then they just repurpose them in other categories. So this is the monogram flower, as I said, but repurposed as costume jewelry earrings. I think it's actually very subversive, okay? Because only someone who knows Louis Vuitton, even someone who knows the Louis Vuitton monogram, would not know that these are Louis Vuitton earrings. Because when people think of the Louis Vuitton monogram, they think of LV, and the clover as well, and the monogram flower. They don't necessarily just think of the monogram flower on its own. And I think that's actually very subversive. I think it's kind of playful. There's something about this that I find almost sarcastic, like it's a sarcastic kind of playful take on logos, because again, only people who shop at Louis Vuitton or follow Louis Vuitton and are familiar with the Louis Vuitton monogram will know what this is. So I think that earrings from costume jewelry can be a very fun way to play with the Logomania trend this year. And again, if you're someone who maybe a jacket or a coat or a swimsuit is maybe too much for you, I think earrings like this would work and they'd be absolutely adorable. The next one, the next tip that I have for wearing logos this year is see logos as a subliminal joke. Not an inside joke, but like a subliminal joke that you can play with and have fun with. The best example of this is the cardigan I tried on at Moschino. It has these question mark appliques. I'll insert a picture here so you can see the cardigan. I regret leaving the cardigan behind. It was so heavy and it was a little bit uncomfortable on my arms, a little bit, but it was so beautiful. I mean, I'd love to see if I could get it in a slightly bigger size. That might work for me. Now, it's so subversive because Franco Moschino's thing was one of his many motifs for the brand is the question mark. So you always see question marks in Moschino's ready to wear and their bags and everything that they do. And his thing was that he himself was playful and he had a satirical take on fashion. And the question mark motif from Moschino is one of their top motifs alongside the teddy bear. So the idea of this cardigan with question marks all over it, it's a show-stopping statement piece. And it's another fun way to play with logos. Not the logo as the Moschino logo itself, but a logo through a house motif. So instead of thinking of Logomania as just a logo, like just Moschino Milano, you look at the motifs of the house, okay? As I've already told you previously, the monogram flower from the Louis Vuitton monogram, okay? As earrings. And then you take a motif from the house and you use that as a way to kind of play with Logomania this year. So the question mark from Moschino and the monogram flower from Louis Vuitton. I think it can be subversive, subliminal, and very playful, and it keeps things fun and fresh. And I think that's the key thing with the Logomania trend. It's not meant to be, frankly, it's not even a trend. I think it's a real part of fashion that's a legitimate category in its own right. And I think it's meant to be fun. Like luxury fashion at this price point, honey, if I'm paying all this money, I want it to be fun and I want it to feel fun. The next tip that I have is turn the tables around on the people who talk so much shit about logos by choosing logos that are not as popular but that are equally as awesome and vibrant to wear. So logos and monograms that maybe just aren't as popular at the moment but they're equally as awesome and they look great include the Dior oblique monogram, which I think is very under the radar in terms of the Logomania trend. It's not as popular as the Louis Vuitton monogram or as the GG Supreme monogram, but I like it. I think it's actually very cool. It's very edgy. I even like it in blue, and that's saying something because you all know I don't like blue. I really like the dual oblique monogram in anything. I think in ready to wear, even in bags, it looks good in the saddle. And like I said, you know, I don't really want handbags to be a focus of this video, but the dual oblique monogram, you see it in, like I said, ready to wear, you see it in accessories, you see it in bags. I think it's a very fun option instead of something that is so obvious and literal. The Celine Triumph monogram, which we have talked about as well. The Celine Triumph monogram, I beg your pardon. I think this is a great one as well. I also like the Givenchy monogram, which I think looks great on ready to wear. It's on a lot of their ready to wear pieces. I think again, it's just a little bit different. It's not as popular, it's not as worn. So it's something that's a little bit more subtle, and it's a cool way to subvert what people say about Logomania with something that's just a little bit different and something that everyone doesn't do. Now, the Greco monogram from Versace, I think is also a fun option because it's again, not as common as the other ones. Now, at the moment, they're not using a lot of new season clothing, but last year there was a lot of like clothing with the Greco monogram. I think Versace also kind of playing into this kind of, you know, quiet vibe at the moment. And honestly, I'm just tired of it. I can't wait for this trend to die and leave so that all the other brands can just go back to who they are, because it's kind of like, you know, it's a little bit boring. But the Greco monogram as well. The next tip that I have is be aware that very difficult monograms are not for the faint of heart, and it has to be part of your personal style. Two examples of this is a new monogram that Versace is pushing called All Over. That's what it's called. It's literally Versace All Over. That's the name of the monogram. And also this one here from Moschino. It's just called Logo. Okay, I love the Milanese houses. They keep things very simple and they don't make things particularly complicated. The one by Moschino is just called Logo. Okay, the one for Big Versace is just called All Over. I love both of these, but I would urge you to go to the boutique to see how they look like on your body and to try them on. These are very statement pieces. They're not everyone's cup of tea, but if you're a maximalist, they are difficult monograms to pull off. I think that they look really good with just like a simple like color like alongside it. Like the Versace All Over monogram, that will look nice with whatever color is in the Versace clothing itself, to go with that. And the Logo by Moschino one, I think they look good when it's just like, if maybe you just get like a cord in that monogram, I think that also looks good. The next idea that I have is choose a logo that can look very vintage and almost kind of whimsical with your wardrobe and with your personal style. The best example of this is the anagram by Loewe. I think that this looks like something from a bygone era, like it looks like a wax seal on like a document that a sovereign would write or something. There's something very whimsical and historical about it that I really like. I love it. It looks royal. It looks really dope. So I wanted to share this one with you. We see the anagram in a lot of their ready to wear. Another thing I really like about the anagram is I think it is unisex and it just looks really cool. I just really like it. I love it on the menswear. I love it on the women's wear. I think it looks wonderful. So I just wanted to share this one with you guys. I'd love to know what you guys think about this video. I wanted to try something just a little bit different and just do something a bit fresh and different. You know I love monograms and logos, so for me I just think they're great. But for me it's like they're part of my style. It's not a trend to me, it's part of my personal style, and I've always loved them. I've always thought that they were great, and I hope that I've showed you fresh ways of like integrating Logomania into your wardrobe in 2023. You can wear logos in a very subtle way. You can wear them in a way that makes them a huge statement. But the bottom line is they're meant to be worn by you. They don't wear you. You wear the Logomania pieces themselves. And I think that the problem is that maybe those of us who like logos, we haven't been as vocal to kind of maybe talk people, maybe kind of explain logos or interpret Logomania in a very fresh, modern way for 2023. So when people think logos, they think of a shirt that says Louis Vuitton. That's not like relevant Logomania for 2023. There's so many ways that you can enjoy this trend, and there's so many brands. as a coder to this point, a lot of people who are in the quiet luxury scene, hate that phrase, but whatever. A lot of people in the quiet luxury scene have been talking about Marine Serre and her like Logomania monogram, which is the Marine Serre monogram. Me personally, I don't personally like this. However, I just wanted to share it because I know it is one that many people like, and many people say that they prefer it to the more traditional top tier ultra luxury monograms, because her brand, I think, is like a few years old, but it's very popular with the girls. I actually like the clothing from the brand. I just don't personally like the monogram, but I felt like it was worth noting and sharing it just in case you're interested and you want to try something a little bit different. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, and also go follow me on all of my socials below. Let me know if you like videos like this, because I have a video like this for the color pink, like how to wear pink if you hate pink, or how to wear more pink if you like it. And I also have a colors video in general, like how to pick the right colors for ready to wear, because you know I have been picking up ready to wear pieces. I have that Versace jeans couture top, I have my Moschino top as well. So let me know if you'd like to see those videos. Okay, now let's talk about quiet luxury. You guys asked me what I thought about quiet luxury. Let me read out some of your comments, and then we'll kind of talk about quiet luxury, because some of you left some interesting comments about quiet luxury. So I thought it was worth just to quickly going through some of them with you, and then I will tell you what I think. Lisa, you left a comment, and on one of my videos for a few days ago, you said, by the way, can you do a video on quiet luxury? I love and own many Louis Vuittons. I have a mixture of Gucci, Chanel, YSL, and Prada. But I feel like with quiet luxury, I can't wear my bags the way I used to. Due to quiet luxury, a few weeks ago, I ended up purchasing a mini Antigona and Longchamp extra small in leather. I love the Longchamp pliage. I have a few pieces used for work and meetings in America. It would be great if you tell us your opinion on quiet luxury in a commentary. Okay, great. I'm going to tell you what I think now. I did respond to Lisa. I'll read you the response of what I said to her. But just before I read it, you know, I think this is a really interesting question, because I think that trends and the adoption of trends plays such a huge role in the way we understand fashion. But I think that we need to do more to just kind of enjoy fashion that we pay for, particularly at this top tier end where things are not cheap and things are expensive. Enjoy it in the way that suits your personal style. But this is what I told Lisa. I said, hey Lisa, my view is that you should wear what you love. Trends come and go. What happens when the quiet luxury trend dies off and it will fade away? What happens then? Wear your Chanel, Prada, and YSL. It's your personal style. Personally, my style is loud, vibrant colors and prints from Italian brands like Moschino and Versace. In a world where everyone is quiet, my voice will always be heard. Love what you have and don't feel like you can't wear what you love just because everyone is following a trend. And that is really a huge viewpoint of mine. Another question that I had was from Erin. Erin said, hey Kagem, thank you for the bait video. Unrelated to this video, but still on luxury topic, I'm wondering what are your thoughts on the current quiet luxury discussion? So I left Erin a very long reply. But essentially, this is what I told her in the final paragraph. I said, it is part of the return of gatekeeping the luxury space where a group of people decide the trends we must all adhere to or be cast out. A lot of the brands in this QL space are actually brands I like Ferragamo, Haya, Big H, Bottega. However, I like them genuinely, not because they're quiet, but because I think they make stylish, beautiful products. Naturally, I love vibrant and colorful brands like Moschino, Versace, Gucci, and LV, and as this is my personal style, but I can appreciate brands like Ferragamo as well. I also said to Erin, I find it culturally offensive at its worst because it refuses to acknowledge the wide variety and diversity in luxury fashion by choosing to uplift people who don't wear logos, colors, prints, or monograms and put people down who do, which includes me for sure because the latter is my style. All right, so those are my responses to Lisa and Erin. Thanks for those questions. Generally speaking, my kind of view on this issue is that the whole quiet luxury debate is not actually about luxury fashion. What this is about, it's about people deciding that a group of people's money isn't good enough to shop at luxury brands and isn't good enough to partake in the luxury community and in the global luxury shopping world, because that's what this is really about. If you watch a lot of the think pieces, particularly on TikTok, about quite luxury, a lot of the think pieces say how, people want to look rich but don't want to be rich. People make wild assumptions about people who buy from Logomania. People assume that if you wear logos that you don't have any money, that you're buying things on credit, that you're broke, and that you're just pretending, to have money because, and you want to let people know that you've made it. I don't care about that at all. I have always loved luxury brands because I love the products that they make, and I think that they make products that look really good. It's never once in my life occurred to me that someone would think that me wearing a Versace top or a Moschino top means that I think I'm rich or I think I'm wealthy or something. Like, that's the strangest thing to me. It's so strange to me that people go on TikTok and make these long think pieces, and you can tell that they've never spoken to people who buy Logomania pieces, like, okay, my Logomania earrings, my Logomania sunglasses, and my Logomania ready to wear. You can tell that they've never spoken to people who actually shop logos, because I guarantee you, many people who like these monograms and like, Louis Vuitton's monograms, Gucci's, or the Dior obliques, they're not thinking, I want to show people I'm wealthy, I want to show people I'm rich. They're thinking, I really like that monogram. I want to wear it to an event on Saturday, or I'm going out with my friends. I'm going to take this bag, or I'm going to wear these sunglasses because I'm going out with my, boyfriend or husband or whatever. That's what people are thinking, and that's what I think is so strange. I want to read you this comment that I saw somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where it is because I feel like it doesn't matter, but it was concerning the quiet luxury debate, and someone had commented concerning the debate, and this is what the person said. I've never much liked logos personally, but I think it's because they give me the ick as a brown-skinned person. I associate them with the excess and trash taste of certain musicians whom I don't feel are even artistically relevant, just visually loud. And sometimes logos can be tasteful, but they're not for me. I think the current version of them is also the issue. So many ugly, samey logos. Now, this is the key thing about this comment. The person says specifically, I associate them with the excess and trash taste of certain musicians whom I don't feel are artistically relevant, just visually loud. Guys, we all know what the dog whistle here is, okay? If you can't hear this dog whistle, let me tell you what this person is saying. And this person is a person of color. There's a lot of colorism within a lot of communities of color. This is nothing new. There's featureism, there's texturism, there's a lot of self-hate. Unfortunately, this person clearly has issues that has nothing to do with people who like logos. So I don't understand what this person's issue is. But obviously this person is saying that rappers, okay, are cheapening logos. I associate them with the excess and trash taste of certain musicians whom I don't feel are relevant, just visually loud, meaning rappers, singers, so rap artists, hip hop artists, R&B singers who wear logos, who wear branded things, and who participate in the Logomania trend. The Logomania trend has always been part of the hip hop world from day one, before Instagram, before TikTok, before people think they came up with this thing of putting logos down in 2023. It's been part of hip hop since literally the beginning. So the person is basically having a go at black hip hop artists and black R&B singers and having a moan and a go. And there are a lot of these comments that are dog whistles like this. People don't say it directly, but what they mean is specifically black people who like Logomania, because don't forget, not every single black person likes logos. There are many black people who have minimalist style and like classic brands and do not like Logomania brands. But it's no secret that a lot of the clients of brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci, particularly in certain parts of the world, are people of African descent. And Louis Vuitton and Gucci are very popular in the black community, and this is something that is no secret. So the person is saying that black people basically in hip hop have excess and trash taste and are just being visually loud. That's the R word, you know, but this is a very common viewpoint. And that's why I was telling you guys, it's not actually about fashion. It's about putting people down as the luxury industry has become more and more diverse. It's very interesting to me that as luxury becomes more and more and more diverse, the global luxury consumers are super diverse. Now, there are more and more people calling for this return to old money views of luxury. So luxury in the old money era, whatever that is. One could even argue it's a very R word to even bring up the whole old money nonsense in this debate, because one could argue, did these people's families acquire these fortunes in a way that is ethical today? Would it pass like a lot of the laws about human rights and the, you know, and labor rights and labor laws? One could say no, but that is another discussion for another day. I just feel like this quiet luxury discussion that I've seen everywhere, it gets so toxic, because I don't feel like a lot of the people who are filming these like think piece videos realize that like it's really toxic to just focus on like particularly one sense of style from like one part of the world, in this case like the Western world, and to make it like the template that everyone else should follow from like a wide range of different countries and cultures and backgrounds. I was watching a video by Jamie Chua, and she said how in Imperial China, in the imperial dynasties of China, the emperor would only wear yellow. Only the emperor could wear yellow. And I think that's so amazing. You know, look at all the diversity in colors and prints from different parts of the world. Why should we lose all of that because it's not quiet or it doesn't, you know, go into the background? And just to be clear, there are a lot of these brands, which I don't call them quiet. I see it more like, it's more like classic luxury minimalism. And there are a lot of these brands, you know, like Ferragamo, like Big H, like Alliance stuff, and there are a lot of them which I think are great. I just don't like the tone of this conversation, because it becomes like personal attacks on how much money people have and whether people have money and whether people have this and are people in debt. And I've seen all kinds of like crazy things on TikTok. Like, guys, let's just enjoy fashion, let's enjoy luxury. None of these things are things that people need. And to the point about robbery, like, honestly, unless you have like a Rolex or a Patek or an Audemars, no one's got, particularly in Paris, because some of you had asked me about safety, no one's going to be snatching your things because you're wearing like a monogram, like Louis Vuitton jacket, you know. Maybe if you let your guard down and you're walking around with, you know, 10 shopping bags for ages and ages, yeah. But even with shopping bags, you can walk around with them, like on the Avenue Montaigne and on the Rue Saint-Honoré, and in my opinion, I think it's completely fine. So I think, I don't know, I just kind of feel like, I just feel like we need to just enjoy the things that we have, and whatever your personal style is, do whatever is your personal style. Don't let a group of suits, some nameless suits at these conglomerates, dictate what your style should be. I swear that this is something that the luxury industry has come together and said, we're going to push this quiet luxury trend so people buy clothes during an economic slowdown or when things are quiet. I swear that this is like, I swear that this is like something that they're pushing, because obviously, you know, in certain parts of the world, not all parts of the world, but in certain parts of the world, there is like an economic slowdown, right? And I swear that this is something that the industry is pushing, but making you think that you really want things to be quiet, but actually it's the industry pushing these things. So it's just something to be aware of. All of this is about business all of this is about business at the end of the day, and they still want you to buy things. Whether you're buying monograms or whether you're buying very subtle things that don't have logos, you're still taking part in luxury shopping. You're still taking part in luxury fashion. It is still something that you are taking part in, and you're still part of it. So please just know, it's not like you're fighting against the industry by not taking part in any of this stuff, okay? So that is just basically my kind of Deus Ex Machina thoughts on the quiet luxury stuff. I don't like the toxic tone and the kind of repugnant R-word tone of a lot of these discussions, because they become like attacks on other people, and they become these like very thinly veiled dog whistle attacks on people of color. And that's something I'm really uncomfortable with. It's something that I find personally offensive and morally repugnant. But I don't actually think it's like, even the people who are minimalists, I don't even think it's them who are filming these videos. Most of the times when you watch these videos, particularly on TikTok, it's like people who don't shop luxury and people who do not shop luxury but maybe like certain things about quite luxury brands but don't necessarily shop there. Just from my experience when I follow a lot of these things, because some of the things that they say about Logomania is not accurate. Like if you're someone who's like entered these stores and you shop at luxury boutiques often, these are not things that you would necessarily think or say. I remember, for example, by the way, I have a TikTok burner account, but it's private. Only me and my husband know about my burner, but I use that just to like watch these luxury TikTok videos and leave what I think are fair comments, but sometimes I just want to keep things a bit private, so it's not connected to Haya Glams on Luxe. But I remember on one TikTok, there was a guy there who was basically saying like Louis Vuitton has like their logo pieces which are not sold alongside the normal ready-to-wear pieces that are from the catwalk, and I was like, that's literally not true. Like, literally not true. Like, the Logomania pieces, the monogram shirts, blouses and skirts are sold alongside the stuff that's from the catwalk in whichever month or whichever season that, you know, you've gone into the boutique. And I'm just there like, why are you, you know, I just don't understand why people are saying these things. So I just want to enjoy the things that I have. I'm so excited about the content that's coming. There's so many trips coming up this summer. I can't wait for you guys to see all of those videos. They're so good. They're going to be so many shopping trips. They're going to be lots of things I'm going to be getting, and I think it's going to be a wonderful, great time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.